Hey guys, Jester here. Today I'm going to be going over runes and glyphs in the D&D campaign. So, all of the great movies that you've seen, like Indiana Jones or the Da Vinci Code or National Treasure, they all have something in common, and that is runes and glyphs. Indiana Jones always had his little diary with all the pages in it that had all kinds of runes and glyphs that he would have from either Egyptology or whatnot. And then, in the Da Vinci Code, Tom Hanks had he was the expert on runes and glyphs and and symbols and meanings of symbols and that sort of thing. And like he said, over time they kind of get warped and lost meaning. So unless you really know the meaning behind them, you can't really do anything with them. And even in National Treasure, there were runes and glyphs of things that he was able to discover along his path of doing whatever. And so anyway, Dungeons and Dragons is no different. They have runes and glyphs all throughout many of the dungeons. The most famous set of runes and glyphs is from none other than the Temple of Elemental Evil. On page 39 of that text, you are coming up against the entrance to the temple itself, and it is chained like crazy and has a set of runes above the door, or all over the door. Okay? And it's very helpful to the players if they know what these runes and glyphs mean. And throughout the temple, there's some other runes and glyphs in various places that helps the player characters if they know what these runes and glyphs are. In the boxed set World of Greyhawk fantasy setting, right here in the Gazetteer, I think it's the Gazetteer, yeah, just the guide, sorry, to the guide too. Okay, on page 17, you have all of the glyphs that you would find in the World of Greyhawk setting. Okay, there are 76 of them, I believe. 76 glyphs and runes. You will find a lot of those on the door to the Temple of Elemental Evil. However, did you know that you won't be able to completely read the runes and glyphs on that door with this boxed set edition? No, you would actually have to go back and get the earlier folio. Basically, the boxed set originally came in this one little folio, and then they they expanded it into a boxed set. But you actually have to go to the last few pages here to find all of the runes on that door. Again, there's only 76 runes in the folio, just like 76 in the guide, but some of these are different. And again, in order to be able to completely read that door, you have to have the folio, not the guide. Later on, when they expanded Greyhawk and they came out with this player's guide, also on page 17, which was also where the glyphs were found in the guide, you have a set of 77 glyphs. Now, I have not taken the time to find out whether or not you can use this set of glyphs to read that door or not. If you guys know, make sure you leave it in the comments section so that I will know, and all my other followers will as well. But in any case, my question to you, the Dungeon Master, is how often do you you incorporate runes and glyphs in your campaign, in your D&D campaign. And what is the method, or I guess you'd say method, that you allow your player characters to be able to read these runes and glyphs? Me personally, let me backtrack first. If you go back to those movies I mentioned, Da Vinci Code, National Treasure, and Indiana Jones, you'd notice also in all of those movies that very few, if any, of the other people in the movie, other than the main characters, knew what these glyphs and runes meant. That therefore they needed either the physical items that these characters had, therefore they were trying to steal them or take them from them, so that they could find out themselves since they didn't know, or where they had no knowledge at all, where the main characters had a lot of knowledge in reading things like that because they spent a lot of their personal time learning that kind of stuff. Your typical player character isn't going to have spent that much time unless you use the non-weapon proficiency system, and then you could have or allow your players, if they chose to have studied such runes and glyphs and have that as one of the non-weapon proficiencies. Whether you want to assign a 1 or a 2 slot to that is up to you. Which category you would wish to put it in, whether it be wizard, priest, or whatever, that's also up to you. But I personally would suggest that would be a good way to allow your player characters the option of being able to read things like that. Kind of like the paladin has a skill of being able to read heraldry. Okay, that's one of his non-weapon proficiencies that he just has as a paladin, that he doesn't have to spend any slots in. So perhaps you could add maybe a subclass of the wizard or a subclass of the priest called a runologist or something. I don't know. However you want to do it. But I'm curious to know how you guys have dealt with and deal with runes and glyphs in your setting, in your campaign worlds and stuff. Do you do what I suggested just now, or do you just let your players learn about it, or just know what they mean, or do they have to copy it down and take it to a sage and pay a sage to decipher what these mean? So leave in the comment sections. Let me know what you guys do. I'd be thrilled to find out what the general consensus is around the real world. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for today. Just wanted to find out what you guys do with the runes and glyphs in your campaign setting. So thanks for watching, and until next time, and as always, see you soon.